Katie recruits Nick Marone, he's happy to get revenge on Bridge. The Bold and the Beautiful is getting back to its roots and the fashion wars will be front and center again. Katie Spencer's new company will need textiles and spoilers hint her ex-husband Nick Marone will be happy to help. Is Brooke going to regret kicking Jack to the curb in Italy? The captain is probably still bitter over Brooke Logan, Catherine Kelly-Lang, picking Ridge Forrester, Thorsten K, over him. Spoilers hint Katie might take advantage of the bad blood. Here's what's coming up next on Bold and Beautiful. The Captain's Revenge. Jack Wagner made a big soap comeback as Nick Marone in 2025. Brooke was single at the time, and the captain professed his love for his ex-wife and begged her for another shot. The Forrester Creations gang traveled to Italy and Nick tried to use his textile contracts to sabotage Ridge's fashion show. In the end, Bridge reunited and Nick was left in Italy. The Bold and the Beautiful hasn't mentioned Nick Marone since the trip to Naples, but now that there's a new fashion company on the block it makes sense that he could return again. Katie Logan and Dollar Bill, Don Diamorne, are starting a fashion company from scratch and are going to need the best garments in the world to compete with Forrester Creations. That sounds like the perfect excuse to bring the fan fave back again. Nick Marone wasn't just married to Brooke, he also was married to her sister Katie in 2008. Katie and Nick almost had a child together after he left her niece Bridget, but unfortunately she miscarried. Will Nick Marone help Katie? Nick and Katie have a lot of history on the CBS soap and they were on good terms a few months ago. If Katie reaches out to him and asks him for help fighting the Forresters and get back at Bridge, he will probably be happy to oblige. Would you like to see Nick Marone return to B&B again? Will he help Katie fight Bridge and the Forresters out of spite? Katie should drop Logan. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say that while Katie Logan, Heather Tom, has every right to want to hold on to her last name for her new fashion house, some people believe that this might not be a fight worth fighting for, especially with her sister, Brooke Logan, Catherine Kelly-Lang. Katie should drop Logan. As many B&B fans are aware of, Katie is fighting her sister for the right to name her new fashion house Logan. Brooke argues that she is known as a Logan throughout the world and because she is part of the Forrester Creations empire, this would be a major conflict of interest. But Katie is fighting back, as she believes that she has every right to name her fashion house after her own last name. But at this point, is it even a really good idea? There are so many other possible names she could use that would better reflect the person she is today. Of course, the Bold and the Beautiful fans had a lot to say about the matter. Some even commented with, "I agree that I want Katie to win, but I also think it's not a great name for the fashion house, and they could do better." What's next for Katie Logan? What I'd really love is for them to get the name but still find a better name and just refuse to allow them to ever use the name themselves. Another critic wrote, "Yep, it's riding on the coattails of your more famous sister. This would never fly in real life unless the industry was completely different. I've been designing graphic identities brands for 25 years and registered my fair share of names logos." And then there was this comment as well, "Don't have an idea of my own, but ideally, something more uniquely Katie. I know Logan is her last name, but I just don't think it's a great name for her business." Clearly, B&B fans will have to tune in each and every day to find out what will happen next. The Bold and the Beautiful airs weekdays on the CBS network. Check your local listings for times.